this team has two starting lineups. Great coaching. One of the between Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy running the defense. Amazing on both ends of the floor. Amazing game planning. We'll see what happens with the Kawhi situation, but still an owner that will do everything possible mid-season to try and win.
Give me your Clippers stuff. Let's do the Clippers now.
They're an actual contender. Absolutely.
They're an actual contender? I can't do
Absolutely.
that. I can't get there with the Clippers. I can't get all the way there. Sell me.
They were favored in the games in Denver.
I never thought they were going to win that series.
Sure, but the betting market gave sharp Clippers action pre-series. They were 6.5, 7-point favorites at home, and they were -1.5 when they were in Denver. So then they got better this offseason. If you're saying Denver got better, then the Clippers got even better than that, bringing in Chris Paul back, trading Norm Powell for John Collins and getting Bradley Beal, and then bringing in Brook Lopez. This team has two starting lineups. They are great coaching. One of the between Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy running the defense. Amazing on both ends of the floor. Amazing game planning. We'll see what happens with the Kawhi situation, but still an owner that will do everything possible mid-season to try and win. So they're absolutely an actual contender. They have a better chance of winning the NBA Finals than the New York Knicks. They would be favored over any team in the Eastern Conference, home or away.
Are we sure they're going to get to at least the second round of the Western Conference playoffs, though?
No, you never are with Kawhi and James Harden, but that's kind of, I guess, the same story as the Clippers, but this is the best Clippers team they've had in a long time, and they are very good.
Yes, but I've done this with this team before multiple times. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably more of a I'm very much a James Harden playoff atheist.
I love Harden. I'm the Harden's actually better than D Wade. Don't at me.
I'm definitely not that guy. Beal, I just don't know. I can't put them in as actual contenders because while I do agree they'd be favored against the Knicks in the finals, I don't know if they'd be favored against the Cavs. They'd be favored against the Knicks in the finals. I think, actually. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that because of just the Knicks being the Knicks. You know what I mean?
They would for sure be favored against the Knicks.
Maybe, but here's the thing.
If you look at the end of year power ranks last season, I could pull it up right now.
Here's the issue.
Clippers were 5, and the Knicks were 10 the second to last week and 13th the very last week. So if you're looking at them on a neutral court, it says that the Knicks are a 3.8 point underdog.
I think they'd get a lot of handle leading up to whenever that final. Here's the thing too. The problem with the Clippers that I have is I'm not expecting them to beat the Thunder, although I think they'd be an interesting matchup for them. So I think they'd be underdogs in that series. I think in a Denver rematch, I'm still going to say that they're underdogs. And I think even against Minnesota, who I'm not as high on in terms of me versus consensus. I can't definitively tell you the Clippers are better than the Timberwolves.
Minnesota, I would say sure, and maybe that's why you want to put them in kind of contenders, because I agree that they're right there with Minnesota in terms of that stuff. But
for third in the West,
even if it's home court at MSG, you're looking at Pick'em in New York and -6.5 when they're in LA.
Well, if the Knicks
therefore, if you combine the implied probabilities and gambling math this out,
sure.
Even in New York, the Clippers are favored in that series.
But if it was the Los Angeles Knicks, I would put them in kind of contenders. And if it were the New York Clippers,
if it was the New York Clippers, they'd undoubtedly be actual contenders. They would be second in the title odds.
I think the conference kind of screws them here. Because I think it's Thunder, Nuggets, then drop off. Well, it's really Thunder drop off, Nuggets drop off, and then Wolves, Clippers, Lakers, Rockets. Um, to me, they're kind of contenders, and I do have a lot of health questions. I think Ty Lue is awesome,
All right, we
but
could put them kind of contenders. Then I'm gonna
Harden,
argue that I'll argue the Rockets are also kind of contenders.
I think they are kind of contenders.
Okay, we could agree on that then.
I agree. They're in the same tier. With the Rockets, it's like the Fred VanVleet thing. I do think matters.
Massive.
Kevin Durant is 40 almost, not quite, but Kevin Durant
He's
is
still with KD.
he's in his 19th season. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I love Amen Thompson. I think a lot will be asked of him this year, and
overrated.
I'm still not sure about Reed Shepherd in the way that the draft dudes had a boner for him last year. I don't know. I don't know. They don't. I don't. The guard play and the shooting are big question marks for me. Even though I think the defense is going to be really good, I think Udoka is going to get a lot out of them. I even think Royal Ivy is one of the best assistant coaches in the NBA. Like we can even go there with it, like beyond just Ime Udoka. But I think Şengün could have a good year. I think Jabari Smith is a good role player to have around all of this, but I have some questions about depth at guard, and I don't know. I think the West is also better this year than last year, a West that they were able to navigate through. And now they don't have Fred VanVleet, and I think that's a big deal. It's not small.
I also think what they gave up for KD is underratedly important, and obviously getting KD back is a bigger addition, but not as big as it is on face value. So I think they're kind of contenders. They're a team that needs to make a trade and are a trade away from actual contenders.
Derek White. Why do you think
the actual contender instantly if they have D White?
Why do you think Amen Thompson's overrated?
He's very good, but he's not like.
You think people are like, oh, they're putting him in like top 20 too soon, basically?
Yeah, like this guy's a lock to be on the next Team USA roster. Like he might be an all-star this year. Like, no, he probably needs to learn through mistakes of even being a playmaker, an on-ball creator. Like he needs to get a lot better at shooting. He's an elite defender. He's an elite athlete. He's elite in transition. He's got the perfect coach for his play style. So we will see. But like, is he better than Scotty Barnes? No.
That's interesting. That's going to be a fun conversation to have at the end of the year. I think he needs to prove it more.
Revisit that with me at the end of the year. He's not better than Scotty Barnes, in my opinion.
Okay. I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other on it. I think Amen Thompson to me is more of a DPOY candidate than an MIP candidate.
Would you agree though that the whole consensus talk around Amen right now is that he's better than Scotty Barnes?
It's gotten out of control a little bit.
That's my point. That's why I think he's overrated. It's gotten out of control. And I think the responsibilities that he's going to be thrust upon with VanVleet is exactly his weakness and what the VanVleet type covers up.
I'm like this
spacing, playmaking, ball handling.
There's a number of players I'm probably like this with. Like, y'all feel bad about this person? Like, Reed Shepherd is actually one of them on a lesser scale. Like, people are just penciling him in for, whatever it is in terms of averages, and like, oh, he'll do a lot of what Fred VanVleet did. And I'm like, I don't know about that. It'll look good some nights, but yeah, they're kind of contenders also. That being said, again, if these were the I don't know, the Baltimore Rockets, and also if Fred VanVleet were healthy, I feel better about them.